Bonjour, fellow sim farmers and friends and other interested parties, or as we say in the old country, my original neck of the woods, g'day. My name is Craw and I'm an avid sim farmer. I've only put a couple of vids up for Farming Simulator 17. They were on Pine Cove Farm by Stevie, and in that I threatened to do some more vids on other maps that I really enjoy playing. So, true to my word, here I am. Now, I'm in France. The map I'm on is un Petit Coin de Campagne. Excuse my French, it's non-existent. Its common name is Charming Countryside, and this is a map by Arsenic Modding. I've put a link to their site down in the description, and this is a map that I really enjoy playing. It's not perfect by any means, but I don't think any map that I've played actually is, apart from maybe one or two. But there's enough good things here to completely make you forget about anything that may be a little bit questionable or that you may not like. It's a very, very good map. Starting off here in the office, and I'll just show you this for a start. Let's have a look at the computer. Just press the left mouse button here. I haven't quite worked out how to use the computer here. It's all in French. But the good thing about this map is that everything you need to know is in English. You shouldn't be scared off by the fact that Arsenic Modding's website is all in French. It can be translated through Chrome. There's a map over there on the left. Let's just stop the computer there. We'll try and stop it in frame. Yep, good. So this is the office, and I'm just going to move out here now, and I'll stand out in the courtyard and explain what's going on. Now, I'm running seasons on this map. 6-day seasons. We're in the second day of summer, and it's coming up to lunchtime. This is our farmyard here, the main farmyard, and to give you an idea, I'm going to put about 4 or 6 videos up of Charming Countryside. So this isn't a map tour or a first look. I'm well into the game here. And what's happening is that I've been away from the farm all morning. It's Friday. The workers get a half a day. I haven't been able to contact them. The last time I tried was at 11 AM, and a half day to me is from 12 o'clock onwards. So I don't know what they've done. I don't know where they're at. Can't contact them. They turned their phones off. So I'm going to have to do a tour of the farm so that I can work out a list of priorities for the work I've got to do this afternoon after lunch. So, you can utilise this as a map tour. What I will do, I'll show you around the farmyard here, give you a feel for the map, and you can see what's going on. As you can see, we've got the noisy chickens sort of milling around, dropping their eggs all over the place, but that's not really a problem. Our residence is up there by the gate on both sides of it. The family who owned the farm before me, I think there were 3 generations here, and I think the grandparents lived over there where you can see the smoke coming out. That's where I'm camped at the moment. Right. It's a nice compact little farmyard, and I think what we'll do is we'll start up here on the left hand side. Now over here, this is your bale sell point. It's conveniently located on the farm. This is a small map. I won't bring up the map yet, we'll get to that. But it's a small map, small fields, so we're using small gear. There's my liquid sprayer and my 2 planters, corn and normal cereal crops. One of the interesting features about this map, well, I think it is, we have a couple of extra animals on here, and these are rabbits, which is quite appropriate in France. I think they eat quite a lot of rabbit, lapin, and this shows up a very good feature of the map. One of the reasons why you shouldn't be sort of put off by the fact that it is a French map. Everything you need to know is in English. You'll see the information coming up there on the right hand side of the screen. We provide them with water and maize or corn, and we get pallets of rabbits. And there's one of the pallets there. See its digital display up there, and that's actually ready to go. So I've got to mark that down as a job we've got to do. Another interesting little feature, one of the things I like, and it's the small things that tend to make, you know, really good maps. You'll see that that tube on the left hand side of the tank there. That's a visual indicator of the fill level. So at the moment that is looking like half full, and if I go back over here, then we can see that the water's at 47%. Yeah, so that's very, very close. So that's one of those nice little features. You know, you can see that from a distance, and without even having to read the digital display, you can tell whether you need water or not. Blizzard water tanker, just a little one, that's all we need. Washing station, very, very important on this map, and you'll see why. We can sort of see a little bit here. We're in a very, very high rainfall area. The vegetation is very lush, and very high rainfall area with dirt roads tends to mean one thing, and that could be mud. But we'll have a look at that in a minute. Over here we've got the workshop, modifying your machines, maintenance, since we're running seasons. Scroll around here. Good storage area here. This is where I keep bales. I use the buy bales mod. So until I could, you know, reap the benefits of cutting grass, silage, things like that, animal feed, yeah, I head up to the shop and I buy bales. And at the moment I'm still working through some bales of silage and some bales of hay. Try to scroll around here a little bit smoother. Over here, this caught me out the first time I came onto this map. I thought it was a wash station, but that is your liquid fertiliser. Oh, quite convenient. This is another thing that caught me out when I first came onto the map. You know, I thought there was a bit of a glitch. I couldn't find the trigger to fill up with fuel, and the reason being that this isn't fuel sales, this is fuel storage. So if you want to get fuel out of these tanks, well, you better put it in first. And as you can see on the Bowser here, I think we've got 22,500 litres of fuel in stock, so we're alright. Very noisy chickens. Aren't you supposed to do that first thing in the morning? Anyway, over here is our silo building. There's our combine there. We're using a Case 1660 axial flow with a 14-foot header on it. There's our dumping point for grain. Plenty of light switches. They're all clearly marked, which is good. We fill up from the silos outside at that pipe beside the office. That's just a prop. Good vehicle and machinery storage. There's one of the tractors we use, and we're using a New Holland 8340, 125 horsepower. We need a bit of horsepower. I'll demonstrate that a little bit later on, but the things like the physics on the pallets, how heavy they are, is very well done. So we need to use a little bit of power in our machinery, and we need to have weights. Definitely need to have a weight on the back of this. Alright, over here we've got seed. So on the farm we've got seed and liquid fertiliser. Because I thought that was a washing station when I first turned up on the map, I actually bought some liquid fertiliser, so that's just been sitting there. Again, good vehicle storage here. That's the Blizzard ground modification tool. I've only used it once. We'll see that later on. And here is our standard farm vehicle, which is the Land Rover Defender by Virtual Farmer, and I love this mod. Virtual Farmer, you did a great job on this mod. I really enjoy driving this, and that's what we're going to drive around in and have a look at the rest of the farm. So here, when we go out of the gate, let's come over here to the middle of the road, get a bit of a view. That's looking down towards field 27, one of the fields we own. Going up the other way, and I'll actually just run up here. Got good access all around the farm. It is dirt, it is wet, very lush vegetation. This is another one of our fields. This is field number 1. I planted soybeans in there yesterday. We planted the last 2 crops of this season really, yesterday, corn and soybeans, so that hasn't come up yet. So let's just do a run back to the farm here, and on the other side of the road, and yes, high rainfall area, you can just see it there, it's a bit muddy. But over here we've got our cows. I'll run down through here. It's very hard to see the cows through the lush vegetation, but they are there. This is their feed trough. I'm using a Keenan Neck Fiber 340 as a TMR mixer. Over here, silage. Let's see how we're going there. Just bring up that. Oh yeah, that's ready to go. But I've still got to get through those silage bales, so won't be touching that for a while. I've got to clean that up too. I have a bit of a routine with the animals. The animals here, they're not just an addition. My animals are an integral part of my farm. I look after my animals. Alright, so I have a routine, and that is 6 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening. Game time. I look after the animals. Again, good storage with lights. Because I use the buy bales mod, that gives me the ability to be able to take a bale, cut it open and dump it on the ground, and that's what I've been doing with both silage and with straw, and it just makes it a bit easier to get the mix together for the cattle. Now over here is our milk fill point, so if you want to get a higher price, if you watch the markets, you can fill up your milk here and take it to market, otherwise it'll sell automatically at 12 o'clock as normal. Now one of the other good features of this map, one of the things I like, is this board here, which sort of looks like a prop, and I must admit, again, when I first turned up on the farm here, I thought it was a prop. But then if we bring up our animal screen, look at the 2 numbers at the top there, 7252, 3568. If we go to our animal screen here and look at the cows and look at the water and the straw, you will see that it is 7252 and 3568. So yes, the workers at least do the right thing here, and that board is an accurate indication of all your fill levels for the animals. Now here, cow poo, straw goes in there. You can see the back door there. We actually have to access it through the paddock. We pick up the cow poo here, and we run through here, and we store the cow poo here. Again, it's been, I think it actually rained last night, so we have a little bit of mud that we have to deal with. But, you know, I take it in context. This is the only map I play with mud, and, you know, I think it's contextual here. I think it really fits. I don't mind it at all. Round here is our slurry pit. We don't really want to look too much at that. A little bit more storage for machinery or vehicles. And then around here, you can see it through the gate, but there's our buy and sell point if you want your animals delivered or want to pay a delivery fee to sell them. And I'll just jump over the fence there. There we go. And here's the water supply for the cows. Again, we can go in here. This is where the straw goes. It takes bales, so I don't need a bale shredder. And there's our happy little girls. Hello. And we'll get a little bit of a view around the place. Quite a pretty spot. Alright, so let's keep going here. Jump over the gate again. Alright, so we've got plenty to do here. As I said, you can utilise this as a map tour, but basically I've got to drive around and check out what needs to be done this afternoon. So I'm going to jump into the Land Rover Defender here, and we'll take it from there. Now let's just have a look around here and make sure we're okay. Yeah, we've got our fire extinguisher, always handy to have. Now I'm just going to pull out of here and then we'll check out and see where we're at. I'll just stop here for a moment, just stop the motor. Now I'll bring up the map and let's go back to the main screen. Oh, a little bit too far. And it's probably easier if I go through to the, well, I'll just mention, we do have 3 extra fruit types here. We have oats, rye and triticale. Alright, but it's easier for us to see what's going on, and I'll actually go through to the fertilise state. Now we own field 28, field 1, 27, 14 and 26. I used to own field 12, that's the other fertilised field there, but I sold. That's a little bit too small. Alright, so in field 28 I've got wheat growing, in 27 I've got barley, in 26 we've got corn, in 14 we've got sugar beets, and you'll see why later on. And that's it, we own 5 fields. I'm thinking of buying another one, and I'll show you that later on, the one I'm thinking of buying. As you can see, all the fields are fully fertilised now, and if I get rid of that, you'll also see that they are all fertilised as well. So let's get moving. So that's where we're at with the crops. Alright, so we'll start the motor here and move out. Now I think what I'll do is that I'll go to the exterior view here to get a better idea of what's going on around us. Scroll out a little bit. As I said, that's field 27 in front of us. We've got barley growing there. The tower that you can see there is water supply, and let me get a little bit closer and I'll scroll around here. And yeah, that's what it's looking like. Good roads all around the farm. And where we're headed is across that stream there. On the other side we've got the village and the shop. I'm going to leave the mini-map open down in the bottom left hand corner there, so you can follow where we're going. So let's get moving. Let's zoom out just a little bit. That looks good. So we'll turn down here. Yeah, that's one of your water fill points there. Trigger is at the base. Have to pay for it, of course. You can see around field 27, that's the result of my mowing efforts, and the grass hasn't started growing again yet. And now we've got to get across the stream. This tends to be a bit of a job. I'm going to go a little bit wide here, so we've got a chance of doing it. We'll plough our way up there. Oh, there we go. Now this is the main road here on the edge of the village. These French drivers, they're very, very slow. And just here we've got the shop. Pretty standard, nothing spectacular. You wouldn't really expect anything spectacular for a small village agricultural shop. There's some of the bales that I've still got to transport. We'll get to where they're going pretty soon. So we're going to move out here, and the first area I've got to check is up on the right. Let's just check traffic. It's good. We're going to turn right here, and we're going to turn right here. The road on our left there basically goes around fields. There's nothing amazing to see there. So we're going to go here, turn left here. This is a loop road, it loops around, but we're going to go in here, into this installation here. And I'm going to stop the motor there and jump out. And what we've got happening here, we've got two businesses here. We have the mill that provides us with flour. Here's the drop-off point just over here. Nice visual aids. Wheat, barley and corn. And from that we get three different products. We get, well, wheat flour, corn flour and barley flour. Again, go up to the information board. This is the barley. Got no barley in there at the moment. We've run out, so we have to wait until the next harvest. And from that we get pallets of barley flour. Same with wheat, same with corn. Now in the same installation, there's our Clark forklift. That's what we're using at the moment. In the same installation, if we go up to this information board here, if we supply water, wheat and barley, we will get pallets of beer. Haven't got that in operation at the moment, but they will spawn on this roller conveyor belt, and there's no automatic sales triggers on these, so they have to be collected and taken to the sales point. But there's 5 or 6 pallets will go on there before you actually have to do anything about it. Water goes in over there, and over here is where we have the grain drop off for the beer factory. Digital displays again, visual indicators. Yeah, all very easy. And we'll get to where the flour goes a little bit later on. Jump back in the Defender here. We're going to carry on. We've got a lot to do. Stay in the exterior view. And as I said, it's a loop road, so we can just go straight back out here. Really lush vegetation. You can see on the right there, lots of water. There's lots of little ponds all around the place. So let's turn left here and go back down. Now in front of us is our grass field in town. It's only a small field, but you know, we've done a right out of it, and all the rest of the areas that we can mow. And that's a good little field, that. Before we do a left-hand turn here, let's just take another look at that, have a look around. We're at the back of the village at the moment. And you can probably guess where we're going now. Left here, this is the BGA, weighbridge, weigh station. Digestate goes in over there. Try not to scroll through the buildings. Silage bunker. Let me just get out and check that. This is the last mowing that I've done. Alright, it's only halfway through its fermentation cycle. Let's take that off there. It's an above ground silo king for dropping your silage off, but it's got a ramp, and gee, that makes it a lot easier. And I'll jump back in the vehicle. Oh, I better get on the right side. Don't want to climb over the passenger seat. Start the motor there. and it's connected to this area that I basically class as a second farmyard. Got the seed supply there. I'll pull in here before I stop. Jump out. Yeah, this is where I keep my mowing gear. I tend to be very simple with it. You know, it's all for silage, so I just use a front mower and a forage wagon, fuel tanker, solid fertiliser, you can buy there. This is actually fuel supply, so I can buy fuel there. Again, good vehicle storage, vehicle and machinery, and we've got another workshop here. So that's a second area that we can utilise. Oh, gee, I'm all over the place. Alright, let's jump back in there. I'll head out onto the back road around the back of the village. There's our grass field again. We come out of here, we do an immediate right, and this is the gold mine. And it's not really a gold mine, it's a compost master. But on some maps, manure is gold. On this map, it's compost. It's the compost master that dumps on the ground. It doesn't have an auger so that you can fill trailers. You can see there we've got 52,000 litres of compost, but it's nowhere near enough. We need a lot of compost on this map. There's another of our tractors. That's the T-Series Voltra. It's 180 horsepower. Could do with a bit of a wash, but you know, it is what it is. I'm sure you've seen a compost master before. Again, good vehicle storage. That bucket there. I've got the Voltra here because we have to transport quite a lot of that compost. That's going to be the main job of the day actually. It may not be the first job we do, but yeah, we need to produce more compost and we need to distribute it. So to do that I'm going to be using the T-Series Voltra and the cramp trailer here. So it's a good size, 40,000 litres I think. And to do all the heavy work here, I'm using the JCB wheel loader. And again, because I use the buy bales mod, and as you can see up in the top right hand screen there, you know, I've got 833,000 euros in the bank. I'm not short of money, and all that's come from quite a lot of the things that we'll use the compost for. So it is definitely worthwhile. The bales of straw are expensive, but in the scheme of things, it's just one of the costs. You know, we make it back many times over. So I have no problems buying bales simply to put in the compost master. Right, so that's about it for this area. We're going to continue this around. So I know what's going on here. It's the main job of the day, as I said. So we're going to jump back into the Defender and we'll carry on. Oh, I had to take a phone call there, so we've lost about 10 minutes or so. That's not a problem. We'll get going. Now we've got two more points of interest here in the village itself, so I'll just head down here. Now on the right here, I won't bother going in there. This is one of our sale points. You can see the drop off there at the side of the building. It's a grain sell point. You can also buy fertiliser and seed there. Don't really tend to use it a lot, and if I actually bring up the screen here, the prices screen, you will notice that essentially we've only really got two sale points, and at first glance that might seem a bit bad, but it's not. It's actually quite good, and because there's so much going on, I'll do a quick scroll through. We've got quite a lot happening on this map, so limiting the sales points is actually a good thing. Alright, so the last little point of interest on this tour here around the village is down here on the right, and this is what we need the flour for. Just pull in here, and this is our bakery patisserie. Jump out again. Water goes in here, got plenty of that, 83,000 litres. Keep making mistakes with my numbers and things like that. I'm not a professional YouTube recorder and presenter, so if I make a few little errors along the way, you know, mix up my left from my right, get the numbers wrong, you'll have to forgive me. There's our grain drop-off point there, and again, go up to the information board, which, I don't know, I could be wrong, but that looks German to me. But the important thing is the information on the right hand side of the screen there. We supply barley flour, wheat flour, corn flour and water, and we get pallets of bread. And that pallet on the right there is almost finished, and that'll give us 5 pallets of bread, so that's another job. I'm just marking down on the sheet here. That could actually be the first or the second job we do when we actually get stuck into it. So yes, that's our bakery, patisserie. Time to move on. Let's do a bit of a turn here. Now there is a turn just here, but we're going to go up to this one here. This is sort of the main industrial area that we're really going to tackle here. And our first stop is here on the left, and this is the biodiesel factory. Very quick look around. We deliver canola, that's what we call it in my neck of the woods, otherwise known as oilseed rape, and apparently also known as colza. You know, where are we? Is this farming manager or is this farm sim? Anyway, canola, oilseed rape. Everything's pretty self-explanatory. There's one of the products we get. That's something. I've a mental blank. Oh, there's the biodiesel there. We'll have a look at it when we get to the information board. And around here we've got digestate. I go up to the information board here, and it's forage, of course. So we get biodiesel, digestate and forage, and they're all pretty clearly marked. Right, good little area. Back in the vehicle. We'll go out this exit here, and just on the left here you can see the name of the establishment just up there on the side of the building at the top, McCain's. And if that doesn't ring a bell, these are potatoes, and if we supply McCain's with potatoes, they are going to supply us on this roller conveyor here with frozen chips. And yeah, the locals don't like it. You know, they keep telling me they're French fries, but you know, I'm Australian, they're chips. Frozen chips. We'll go back out here, continue on around. There's your drop-off point just there. Information display. Oh, look at that mud. Right. Then here on our right is the largest field on the map. This is field 17. And if I just jump out here without stopping the motor, this will give you an idea. just over 1 million euros. Not cheap, but I can almost afford it. I think I've got other things I want to spend the money on at the moment, so we won't worry about that. Now on the left here, this is our main selling point. I'll actually park here. Put that in here. Right. Now, this is fuel sales. You can buy fuel here. This is grain sell point. We can, of course, also buy seed and fertilizer here. Excuse me. Over here, this is wool sales. You'd never know it, but you know, you can sort of tell by the wool bales there. And just excuse me for 1 second. Terrible. Got a frog in my throat. Probably got too close to the ponds. Now this is our main sell point for all our palleted goods. And I'm not going to go through them all. You can tell what they are. Just pause it and have a look. Right, but this is our main sell point, and that's why my truck is over there. Here is the selling point for milk. Again, if you want to watch the market and get the best price for your milk, that's where you do it. Down here is where we meet the animal dealer to buy and sell our animals. We'll get him on the phone, tell him what we want, he drops it off here, we pick it up, and vice versa if we're going to sell. Right, good area there. Water, trigger points just there. And yes, that's our main selling area. And that's why our truck's parked here. Looks like it could do with a little bit of a wash. Yeah, it's not too bad. Alright, let's continue our tour. Yes, we should get in this side. Yeah, field 17, it's a good sized field. I've done some contract work for Maria. I like it. Probably not going to buy it though. Now on the left here, we've got our sawmill. Again, I'll just park here, pop it into a spot. Pretty standard fare. There's that log drop off there. Down the back of the establishment, we've got the board works. It's very noisy, you'll have to bear with me. We supply logs. Before we pass it, there's your wood chip sell point. The byproduct from the board factory. You can see there's a pallet of boards ready to go. That could actually be the first job we tackle this afternoon. So we need those pretty desperately. The tractor I use around here is a Steyr Profi 4145, 155 horsepower. Weight on the back, it's a little bit dirty. And then around here, this is where we put fuel in. So we supply this with logs and either wood chips or straw. This will take straw as fuel, which is very good. Again, we've got good vehicle storage and machinery storage. There's a little John Deere HPX Gator, a little runaround vehicle. Logging winch, log forks, bucket, stump grinder. Good area, but very noisy, so let's get out of here. Alright, so that's another job I've marked down on the sheet here, and as I said, probably job number 1. We'll see what else we've got going down here. Probably don't want to get too close to this, otherwise I'll end up with another frog in my throat. But here we have the old mill pond, so if you want to drop your logs off directly into the water, back up your log trailer there, that's where you do it. just here we've got the soybean factory, sorry, soy milk factory. Should try and be a little bit more correct. Now the soy milk factory is restricted hours trading, which is why you've got the red and the green on the info board there. It only accepts deliveries at certain times, and you can only pick up stuff at certain times. There's our drop off on the left there for soybeans. We have to actually supply it with water, fuel and soybeans, and around the back here, you know, the goodies we pick up. There's where we drop off our water. The most important of these really is pig food. You know, I make money on the milk, but the pig food is a very good byproduct from the whole process. Right? And we get digestate and we get milk. Turn around here. I'll have a bit of a quick look at the internal workings, if I can get close enough. Right. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the soy milk factory, and that comes on this map. Right, so let's move out. I haven't got a great deal happening there because I'm waiting on soybeans and fuel. I've got a little bit of fuel at the biodiesel factory, but probably not enough to go around. Now in here, this is our pallet works. This is where we bring the boards, and we supply them with boards, and they give us pallets of pallets. Well, stacks of pallets. Pallets of pallets. Dear oh dear. So we've got 3 wanting to go here. We've only got 2.9 here, I think, as far as I remember. Let's jump up here. Yeah. The third pallet isn't quite finished yet. It's only on 99% because we're waiting on boards. Again, rolling conveyor. And the reason we need pallets, well, we need a lot of pallets. A lot of pallets. Another Clark forklift. And the main reason we need pallets is over here, and these are our greenhouses. We've got 6 greenhouses, so actually 6 pallets is good. Right, that goes on the list. Now with the greenhouses, I won't go through what we've got. We've got, you know, tomatoes, strawberries, raspberries, cabbages, cauliflowers, and red cabbage. So I did go through it. And as you can see, the water tanks with the visual indicators, they're all stocked up with water, so that's not a problem. And we also have to supply them with pallets and with compost. And we go through a lot of compost here, but we get it back many times over. Probably scrolling too fast here. Let's go around here. Excuse me again. So again, we've got the roller conveyors. We've got pallets ready to go here. And again, there's no great rush. There's no automatic sell on these. So, excuse me again. We can let those accumulate and just pick them off at a later time. Again, we go up to the information and we can see empty pallets, water, compost, and in this case we get cauliflower. Again, good vehicle storage. It's my Tatra 8x8 tipper. Thinking of selling it. It's just as easy to do the job that it's been doing with the compost, with the Voltra and a trailer. We'll see how we go with that. Water tanker, the little Lind forklift. We've got a few forklifts on this map. And so yes, that is pretty much about it. And I've marked down that we've got to do that. Right, so we better keep moving. And that's pretty much it for the light industrial area. Charming countryside. Up back in here. Let's turn around. And we're going to head down to another area on the map now. Now just on the left here, this is an example of one of the logging areas. This is where I've been pulling out the odd trees to go up to the boardworks. Right. Now I'm going to actually stop this part of our little tour pretty soon now. I like to be thorough, and I also like to keep the vid somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes. So this is actually going to break up into two parts, but as I said, this isn't really a map tour. This is me checking out what needs to be done on the map. So we're going to be ending this one soon. Both part 1 and part 2 are going to be uploaded at the same time. So, you know, it is really one episode split into two. There's a lot of mud. Can't be helped. Like I said, high rainfall area. We've got a Land Rover Defender, it handles it well. Now on the right here is field 14 where I've got sugar beets. Just going to pull in here, I think. This is where we'll end. And as you can see in front of us there's our farm. We're at the bottom of the cattle pasture. You can see our cows a little bit better there. Field 14 is a good little field. Easy to work. Sugar beets in there. That's the main road in front of us there. We'll be turning left when we come back for part 2. But that's about it for this part. Hope you come back for the second one to continue this tour, and then we'll get stuck into the work. Until then, take it easy.